Hello and welcome to Off-Grid Style with Tom and Nikki. I am Nikki. Today we're going to be discussing the top 10 ways to prepare for a food shortage. We're hearing more and more on the news about food shortages. Other countries are hoarding their food, or they're not producing as much as they have been in the past, and so that's going to be a concern about feeding everyone in the world. What causes a food shortage? Lots of different things, mainly natural disasters, man-made disasters, which include conflict, and also soaring cost of food. People just can't afford it anymore. So starting off at number 10 on our countdown is joining a community garden or starting a community garden if there isn't one in your area and you can find people with similar interests. Definitely is a great idea even if there wasn't a potential of a food shortage. You can share resources like seeds, extra produce, and knowledge. And the knowledge is really valuable because you can learn what succeeded for other people in your specific area, and you can also share with them what works for you. And at number 9 is learning to cook and expanding your cooking skills. Keep in mind that you're going to be growing a lot of things that you might not normally cook, but you do need to eat. Also, further along in the video, we'll be discussing other items that you'll need to learn how to prepare. So definitely expand your cooking skills now with those things in mind. And number 8, getting to know your local edible wildlife. What I suggest you do is Google or do other research asking what wildlife edibly consumed it grows in your area. Once you know that, print out photos of it, capture it however you can, even if it's just taking a picture with your phone onto the screen or whatever the case might be, and then taking those out with you. Do not trust those apps. Do not just guess. Make sure that you're ingesting the correct thing. And the apps don't always work. I can tell you that because I've tried it and they don't always work. So definitely foraging is something to put on your skill set needed. And next we have learning how to preserve food. If you don't already know, you need to spend a little time learning how to do this. I again recommend that you print out the instructions for how to preserve different foods so that you have those available to you should something happen and you not have technology available when the time comes. Learn how to can and also learn how to dehydrate. I personally prefer dehydrating because all I have to do generally is cut up stuff, throw it in my dehydrator, and it's done after it cooks for a long time. Practice both of these techniques with small batches to begin with. That way you'll know how it turns out, how long it takes, etc. And keep a notebook or print out instructions for different types of food because there are some special cases for certain vegetables or certain fruits or those types of things. So definitely try to keep track of what you've done. So one of the things you need to do, and this is number 6 on our top items, is you need to create a plan. You need to create a budget and you need to create a plan. Consider things like how much storage you have available to store this food. Figure out how much food you will need to feed whoever it is you're needing to feed for 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 meals a day, 2,000 calories average. No junk food involved here. This is real food because that's what you're going to be storing and keeping is real food. And coming in at number 5 is storing and stockpiling seeds. Be sure to get non-GMO seeds. GMO seeds, if you're not aware, are ones that have been modified genetically in a lab. they have been modified perhaps for pest resistance or for bigger fruit or whatever the case might be. It means that science has messed with Mother Nature, and I never liked that idea. So be sure to get non-GMO seeds. The other thing you need to watch out for is heirloom. If it doesn't say heirloom on it, that means that it's the type of seed that this year might produce what's on the outside package, but next year might produce something completely different, a different variety. So be sure that you buy heirloom seeds. You want to store them in a cool, dry place, preferably in a container of some type that's airtight. And what I do is I food saver mine, and then I store them away. And here we are at number 4, food storage. So I follow a simple rule, and that rule is FIFO. And you might have heard that if you know anybody in the restaurant business or serving or anything like that. It means first in, first out. So when you restock items, let's say you've been to the grocery store and you bought a whole bunch of canned food, and now you're ready to put it away, pull the old canned food to the front. Put the new canned food behind it. That is what that means. First in is the first out. So that's very important. Watch your expiration dates as well. That way, that'll give you an idea of how long something has been sitting and where it needs to go in your lineup. Americans waste 31% of all food they buy each year. Think about that for a second. Here's more scary news. The average American family wastes $3,000 a year by throwing away food. Don't want to do that anymore. Start growing your own food. Start growing it now. Why wait? You can even put it in containers if you don't have a whole lot of room at the moment or just want to try out some things. You can grow herbs as well. They grow great in pots and containers. This will help lower your food bills immensely once you begin to enjoy the harvest and the rewards for planting these plants and taking care of them. You will also learn what works best in your area specifically. Also, what you like the best and what you're like, I don't want to do that again next year. So definitely start planting now. And number 2 on our top 10 ways to prepare for a food shortage is building a non-perishable food reserve. This includes canned goods, beans, rice, flour, sugar, salt, anything that is non-perishable. This is what we do. We actually buy 5-gallon buckets and Mylar bags. We buy the product in bulk from a grocery store or whoever has a sale on. And we then empty all of that into a 5-gallon bucket with a Mylar bag in it. So for instance, we would buy a 25-pound bag of sugar. We would pour that 25-pound bag of sugar into the Mylar bag, seal it with my hair straightener, and then seal the top of the lid of the 5-gallon bucket. 75 to 80% cheaper than any of those stores you see that sell, or places online that sell emergency food. And the number 1 item on our top 10 ways to prepare for a food shortage is not food, it's water. Boiling water, just so you know, will only remove solids and bacteria. You're still left with things like chlorine, fluoride, lead, etc. The only way, there's 2 ways to get rid of all of that stuff. One of them is to purchase a Berkey or something like that. You can see the silver Berkey in the picture on my presentation to you. The other one is reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is very, very expensive, and you actually get out less water than it uses to do the reverse osmosis. So not really the best investment. I highly recommend a Berkey or something similar to that. And as you can see, you can capture the water, rainwater. Both of these are systems that are similar to the one we have, but you do definitely need to treat that water before ingesting it. Well, I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked anything or whatever the case might be, didn't like something, go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the video. Also, please, while you're here, if you'll like it, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do something. That would be awesome. I hope you all have a great day and look for us in these other videos that you see here.